people liked my video. Okay. Hello boys, girls, people, mother worlds. My name is Star-Punz. Yeah, I don't have anything quirky or melodramatic to say this time. I am appalled by how well these videos have turned out. Genuinely, I have not been able to rest without thinking about the unwinding weight of all of your support. I mean, seriously. No, this isn't a bit. I've had to take 4 tabs of melatonin so I can just wake up at 6 AM instead of 2 AM and waking up in intervals. Coming right up, we have 3 new designs, a plot synopsis for this new SMG4 universe, and a task for all of you to complete by the end of this year. Yes, I'm gonna be that guy. Like and subscribe. If we hit the 2K sub goal by the beginning of December, part 3 will be a cultivation of both old and new cast members to conclude. I will stem every single character I can. Now, from responding to all of your feedback and deliberate conversations with the SMG4 server, as well as I have noted from the last video, and further SMG4 wiki research, as well as mind-numbing watch hours of character assassination, I've decided to make some clear things. Number 1, this new universe isn't a narrative idea. To explain, we're taking apart concepts loosely held by the main continuity to make a narrative, with overarching arcs that contribute to one another. I've had responses questioning whether or not it's too much or that the simplicity is what appealed to the audiences. And in retrospect, that is essentially what SMG4 is. Short, simple form content meant to be consumed for entertainment. But this series that I am making right now is to entertain the idea of what if the crew went into a story-driven aspect. Like I said before, it's having an identity crisis. If you want to see what the channel would appear as if they never took such an approach, simply look back in their old videos. It's not that hard. Kind of passive-aggressive. Sorry, but I had to make that clear. Number 2, leave criticism. My intent for these videos is to make the community critique and speculate as to how to further apply their ideas into the SMG4 community. If you have any ideas that are different from mine as to how we should remix these formulas, please by all means say what you want. Just know saying something that is ambiguous or negative isn't really helping change anything. You are free to do so as you want. I won't antagonize you for it. It just doesn't make a point if you want to be heard. And that's what I want, for everyone to come together for ideas. This is a community effort. Do not just say this design sucks. That doesn't help literally anything. Like, I don't care if it sucks or whatever, just tell me why. Number 3, do anything. I want anyone to be free to do what they want with these designs. You don't have to credit me. I am just using these as a way to convey my personal vision. But if I see any of these designs in glitch productions, they will hear my lawyers. I'm kidding. I'm not. I'm kidding. Not kidding. Kidding. The thumbnail is as solid as it says. We will be looking into arguably the biggest fan favorites of the entire series. MEGGY, SMG3, and FISHY Boopkins. I will be going into a long tangent about the status of SMG4, just sprinkle little nitpicks. Sorry about last time. But let's brush off the most annoying one out of the way to overhaul him. FISHY Boopkins. Yes, this little Before we get started, let's lay out the groundwork of the plot. SMG4 is told by his maker to restore order to the world by recovering 3 other SMGs. 30 years after the disbandment of their team, he is the last creation by the Order of Light and is sent down to the planet of Earth. Upon doing so, however, it is sent off course from meeting SMG1 directly and lands in an uncharted area in the ocean, starting our first arc, the South Sea arc. FISHY Boopkins. This turd of a character really annoyed me, even as a kid while I was watching it. I thought of him as the kind of pervert trope in anime, such as Sanji. I know it doesn't do anything necessarily bad. Even he has his limits from the Doki Doki ripoff video. But if we take a moment and just listen to him and watch him, we can observe the local wildlife spike has more underneath the surface. He has nothing. Yeah, the reason why I'm taking drastic changes is for that very reason. Alright, some characters, you can genuinely swap out their personalities and get the exact same thing. Like, it doesn't change anything, so bear with me, okay? FISHY Boopkins derives from a growing empire known as the BOOPKIN, with each of their family members akin to the throne. all of them serving the tyrant known as Fishy in his trial for conquest. He manages to become a ruler of the South Sea, forcing all residents to become laborers or to be faced with the wrath of the storms, as he has the ability to control the water cycle entirely. Yes, Boopkins is the first antagonist. I took a lot of inspiration from Dragon Ball, with the antagonist Frieza, as I saw Boopkins the same, a conniving, spoiled brat, constantly ridiculed for the fact alone of his stature, and in turn leads to control, a desperate desire to seek validation to hear his name chanted. Now, just because we are doing a reboot of a shitpost does not mean we are giving him any forgiveness. He, through and through, is a lying, deceiving heir who takes pride in his people's lineage and control. This leads our protagonist, SMG4, to come into contact with the place as he scours the planet for the remaining other SMs, the Guardians. It was tasked by his creator as without the Guardians, a vacuum now exists for the triumph of evil to persist. In his wake of 30 years after the disbandment, he is the last model to be produced and must restore order. Upon crashing into the place, however, of the South Sea, he meets a woman working alongside the other villagers hard to make ends meet. Our tag hero, MEGGY Spletzer. Now, MEGGY was tough. I didn't see why the crew over at SMG4 were having a tough time deciphering what to do with her exactly, and Illumine Identity Crisis has blended into her as well, switching between jobs from lawyer to depression to a pig. So that's what sparked within me an idea. I leaned in fully with her constant need to make ends meet with her sheer strength and power, that it resides a resentment within her, a boiling anger that even she can't control, but must contain for the sake of her people, working day in and day out for their ruler, Boopkins. I took some inspiration again from Dragon Ball, from weirdly enough, Broly, specifically Super. I wanted to make her a more indecisive character herself. She doesn't understand who she is or who she can be without working constantly on what she wants to be. All she has is her strength to show worth, and that is until SMG4 crashes into South Sea. MEGGY meets with SMG4, who is noted to them as one of the outsiders of the land. Knowing SMG4's high-ranking nature, she had pure spite for him, wishing nothing but his demise so that she didn't need help from someone who was given everything he could have wanted in his life from birth. SMG4 pleads to make a difference as he feels an overbearing guilt, in which MEGGY simply continues working, ignoring him. She does jobs such as construction, cooking, mining, always donating all of her profits to the lower class people and elderly trying to make enough. Anytime she fails in making enough, a resident in her own neighborhood dies by the order of the king. SMG4 empathizes with her and works overtime. During the 1 hour in which MEGGY allows herself to sleep, he manages to make ends meet for everyone for a whole year. This in turn leads to Boopkins noticing the ploy decided by his new nemesis, and demands for the public execution of MEGGY and SMG4. They work together to stop the guards protecting the villagers. After a fierce battle, Boopkins decides to come down himself, warranting a swift defeat to the duo. MEGGY tells SMG4 to gather all of the residents into his ship and make an evacuation to North Sea. MEGGY stands alone for the Boopkins. All SMG4 hears is the fierce cries of a warrior who had given enough to her people. With a newfound responsibility, and bearing perspective in SMG4's ranking in the world himself, he takes his journey a lot seriously, and gives the controls an autopilot and comes back down to help MEGGY in the fight. After a grueling hour, finally defeat him. The two of them pass out and Boopkins is taken away by the heart of the sea. The two are picked up by another ship who looms over and takes them in, resulting in the introduction of her new character, SMG3. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this design is a lot more lore relevant, so if you don't like it, I get it. I would be pissed too if they fucked up my boy like that too. I ain't gonna hold you. SMG3 is different. We can all rip off the band-aids, it's okay, alright? This is a safe space. He's always been this edgy self-insert that really had no direction after no villainy. Yeah, you see the pattern here with these characters, like, the assassination is on a roll today. I tried keeping that beard he has on that mask design, his skull-like features and purple holding hue. Yeah, I don't really like purple. I'm sorry, I always thought it was an ugly color. We control this form of SMG3, however. SMG3 10%. Again, I love embracing sides of characters that creators intend on undermining. It takes no detective to note that he is directly inspired by edgy anime tropes, right? And I took a little bit of Doctor Doom in there, but why warrant such a drastic change? Isn't he just a clone of SMG4? Well, in this one, being alive for 30 years, he implements himself into a new body to continue his plans, something to accommodate with the times in order to enact himself as a superior SMG to plant his own job. Within the 30 years, he betrays the lights of SM2 and SM1. He outcasts himself into the confines of the moon, noting that his own power was too much to bear. But if the time ever needed for a change, he would return in a new body to finish what he couldn't before. Which leads to where we are now. SMG4 is chained by the remnants of stars, under questioning by SMG3. You see, throughout the journey, SMG4 held a positive outlook in the world, his entire life shrouded by his desire to make everyone change. SMG3 simply resides in jealousy as to how he views the world. He notes he was the same until their creator. SMG4 tries to reason with his holder, but not a word goes through. He concludes that their own kind is too powerful, says SMG3. That gods have no right to trespass in the meddlings of humanity. Making the change he did overrided the course of the natural flow of the planet. Now SMG4 has turned into enemy number 1 alongside MEGGY. SMG3 concludes that he will gather 1 and 2 and effectively execute all of them, including himself, to halt the domain of the gods. SMG4 has no idea as to what was wrong by his own people that has deserved such precaution. But he cannot allow the planet to continue to thrive in blood. MEGGY manages to find SMG4 after being held in a simulation of a world that was like hers before the ruling of the king. Seeing faces of family taken away from a ruler so keen on making everything she did a living hell, losing those closest to her and being taken away to other parts of the planet to continue to work by other empires, as well as her only friend, Destiny. She breaks free of her own memories, looking forward and manages to get with SMG4, who tells MEGGY her people have been brought into an undisclosed location at the bottom of the sea, far from the reaches of any evil. She faints them, and they continue their way onward. SMG4 decides to go headfirst with SMG3, after knowing his own fate from the plans of his own brother. SMG3 gives no further elaboration, almost costing the life of SMG4, knowing he intends on stopping him. SMG4 loses badly, with a lot of blood to show for it. Before SMG3 can effectively make his plan to fruition, MEGGY escapes into a pod, going right through the hole where they fought and picked up 4, leaving 3 in the edge of the atmosphere where he resided. 4 and MEGGY vow to make a difference, but Vow is unsure once again to his own existence. Concluding our chapter. No, we will not have some misunderstood business or redemption arcs for big villains such as these. I want to explore moral grays or the limits of good that can be extended. So I'm very sorry to all Steven Universe fans. Making dictators apologizing isn't good enough. I want to continue making more designs for the fandom and document the story unfolding. If you guys want a genuine full-on series, yeah, I'm not dedicating that much. I'm sorry, I have other projects at hand and I cannot animate. If anyone else wants to, go ahead. You know, just say Star-Punz sent you. I'm most fond of MEGGY's design actually. I enjoyed making her as she was always a standout that started with many know as the downfall of the series. But realistically, if it wasn't for her growth as a character, we wouldn't have gone the direction we have now that made so many characters and projects in the works. I'm tired of Meggy slander, okay? How the hell is she the fault for any of this? She could be annoying and lash out on everyone, sure. But you know why they do this? You know why some characters out of character for the sake of comedy or torturing their friends? It's a Gmob parody. They're trying to franchise off of other IPs like fucking Skibidi Toilet. This shit is stupid. It has to be stupid. Alright, but at times it takes itself too seriously. So yeah, we're gonna be left a little stranded trying to find somebody to blame for the quote-unquote downfall, but like, come on, grow up. Come on. And that's our current cast. As of now, I would like to take a moment to thank you all for the recent support. If you want to have drawings done by yours truly, my commission form is down below. It will collect your email and only I will see it, and I will regurgitate that back. And once that is done, I will delete it, no further contact. And I have a new TikTok account. So yeah, take that into consideration, please. I'm lonely. My upload schedule will be a little minced up. November break is coming up, so I'll have a lot more ready for y'all, don't worry. And I'm sorry I won't be making another SMG4 vid until we reach 2K subs. I know it's possible. Share it around. I'm just in the process of making an audience set. So if you, yes you, want to be a part of the audience, just comment down below what you would like to be seen as in the audience. Like I'm gonna draw like a little audience set, right? And I want y'all to be there. So anyone who supports me via commission is gonna be in there, and you can directly message me what you want. But I'll also be adding in random audience members from the comments. So I'll be picking 10 random comments per month to add into the audience. So if you, yes you, want to be part of the standbyers watching, just comment down below what you want to be represented as. Furry, whatever, I don't care. With that out of the way, thank you so much for watching. Alright. Oh god. Let's see. Okay. Okay, still going. Okay. Intro.